Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Knowles, and this is the Nerdic Gods Podcast, episode 232. Joining me, as always, Daniel Neverroli.
What's up, gamers? What's going on?
Hi, Daniel.
Do you I was thinking about this while I was waiting for you. Man, do you remember the whole Abandon game, Blue
Yes,
Box?
yes. It's
That was
still
like
coming.
3 years ago.
It's still coming. They're making it. Don't worry. It's
Yeah,
what was the big rumor with it? Oh, it was a Silent Hill game. I was
yeah, it
there,
was like
right?
a Kojima project. What was
Yeah.
that guy's
Secret
name?
Kojima game. The guy that made the abandoned thing.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I listened to the
was-
interview with him though.
yeah. Colin did that interview with him on
Yeah.
Sacred Symbols, and that was that was really interesting.
Fucking scam
He
artist,
couldn't
that
answer
guy.
anything.
He's like, yeah, we're making this game. Yeah, there's stuff in it. Remember when he like spoiled it on the interview? He was like, you saw like some picture of a guy with an eye patch, right? Or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was clearly supposed to be Big Boss.
Yeah. And he just used like an art asset from one of the engine libraries or
Yeah, I think it was
whatever.
like Unreal or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then he was like in the interview that it was like this so uninteresting thing. He was like, "That's actually the main character's brother," or something like that. It's like this big revelation, and he was just like, "Okay." Abandoned.
Oh boy, what a
I would have
story!
loved to have seen the meeting with him in PlayStation. Like how did that dude get on a fucking State of Play or whatever he was on with like he must have had nothing done. There was
Oh no, it
no
was a blog
video that he
post.
could show. It was no, because there was
Yeah,
the
you remember that?
trailer was in a State of Play. There was like a little
That
teaser
was in a
trailer.
State of Play.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
because I
something like
remember
that.
they was
It
like the
might have
reveal
even
was a
been
blog.
on a showcase type of thing.
I think it was a state. You might be right about State of Play, but I remember like yeah, because that was like a bigger trailer with like it showed a person running with a gun or something. And then the other one was it was revealed on a blog post. That's what it was.
Mm,
Yeah, I think the initial reveal. Wild.
fucking nuts. That
People
dude
were
just
so
must have just
obsessed.
sold execs,
People were so
on
obsessed and
just
so believing that that was
nothing.
something.
Just not crazy, man. That's got to be like one of the biggest scams in gaming
I mean, do you
history.
remember we had maybe you weren't on the podcast? Yeah, I think it was me, Sims, and then we had that Rex Sterling guy on the
Yeah.
we did it like a special episode, which we haven't really done very many of those, like taken over an episode of the podcast. And he was like Rex was just so in
That
on
dude was
that.
super into
He did
it.
like a 48-hour stream or whatever.
Yeah, the lead up to the next
To the lead up
trailer or whatever.
to yeah.
Well, there was
Wild.
a dude, there was like the whole you could download something on PS5 for the
Yeah,
game.
it was for the yeah, it was like a launcher, and then
Yeah.
that was where they were revealing that trailer, and it was like it was like the walk with like the foots,
Yeah.
like you could see his
It's
feet,
like literally nothing. Yeah. And
nothing.
everyone thought it was the Silent Hill 2 guy.
Yeah,
Because the pants look similar. What a weird fucking thing, man. That launcher you can still download. That's supposed to be where the playable
you
prologue is.
cannot still download it.
I'm
No
pretty sure you
way.
can still download
Right
that.
now,
Yeah.
today, I
You
can
could
go and
you
download
could
it
go
on PC.
download the abandoned prologue launcher
Ugh,
in the lead up to the game, Daniel. His his evil
my most
brother's gonna be there.
anticipated game.
Yeah, we're just all chomping at the bit for abandon. Yeah, what if it just
Mm.
comes out and looks fucking great one day though,
I will eat my socks.
Game of the year 2029 or whatever the
Oof,
fuck.
it's a long death time.
Yeah, like that time. Hey man, good things take time. Good things take time. Daniel, it's been another busy week in the world of video games. Not really, but
We got a bit of a sad story for us.
we're getting into the dog days of summer here. There ain't shit going on
Yeah, it'll
in
ramp
video
up soon.
games. Yeah, some point. That's been kind of weird. Trying to throw together news because I feel like we haven't done this year that much. We're like struggling to fill out
Yeah,
the
it's been
doc with news.
only been a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been like a few weeks in a row like this, almost a month, and it's just it's a bit odd. Normally we're dealing with so many layoffs and just shit going on.
Oh boy.
Someone
The
lay
year's
off
not over.
hundreds of
Layoffs will
workers.
happen.
Okay,
Layoffs will happen.
we need stuff to talk about on our podcast. All right, it's like, come on, Xbox, let's cut another
Give Phil
team
a
off
call.
here. Yeah, hey Phil, need you
We
to
should
cut
lay
someone.
off some more people.
you know.
Jesus.
I need to talk about stuff on my podcast. All right, Phil. Like I got you,
Think
man.
about me.
Yeah, think about me, guys. Yeah, yes, hundreds of people will now be jobless and have to.
But what about me, Connor? What
Yeah,
about me?
what about us? You know, what about the podcast? What about content? They just don't consider it. You know. First up, then, a former art designer at Toys for Bob has recently come out and talked about two canceled projects over at Activision. The first he only referred to as Project Dragon. It was supposedly being made by developer Phoenix Labs and was canceled just weeks before it was supposed to go into early access. That's the first one. The next one was a proper Crash Bandicoot 5 being developed by Toys for Bob. Obviously, no word as on if any of this is true, but we are still waiting to see what Toys for Bob's next full game is because we do have confirmation that they are making a game. They have partnered with Xbox again after they disabandoned from them or whatever the hell you want to call it. And so then they re-signed with them,
Attached.
assumingly to make something in the Crash and Spyro vein. We're not entirely sure what, but why else would they sign a publishing deal with Xbox if it wasn't to use one of their IPs? So,
Licensing the IP.
yeah, I think we can all assume that they're making something there. But it is very interesting that a Crash 5 was being made and then was canceled. I guess before he didn't really lay out timelines for these things. I noticed in the tweets. So,
Probably before all this
so
deal
yeah, it
stuff.
had to have been before the Activision Blizzard purchase. So I'm assuming I don't at some point in like 2022 ish he
Yeah.
Crash 5 was canceled. You know, 2021 even. But and
They're
then this
probably looking at the sales of Crash 4, which I think sold well, but not like great. I wonder like how much they were expecting it
it's
to
over
sell.
5 million at this point. It's like shit, man. Like that's
Did you
really
expect more than
fucking
that?
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for a
it's like
platformer.
that's really fucking good for a 3D platformer guy.
Yeah.
So like you
Like
definitely
what did
should
it
not have expected more than that.
off the top of your head, do you know what Insane Trilogy did?
So Insane Trilogy just hit 20 million,
At
which is
20.
which is
Whoa.
crazy. Now, granted, been some years. I'm sure a lot of those
Yeah,
are on sale and stuff like that. But still, 20 million copies of Crash
that's a
Insane
lot.
Trilogy out there since 2017, and that like actually just happened a few weeks ago. They updated that. So
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, it took a little while to get there, but it did. I mean, 20 million copies. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's a huge amount. And then
Crash is a
5 million
popular
for
IP.
Crash 4. That's also huge. Yeah, dude. I was looking at the top 100 high selling games in Japan. You'd be shocked how many Crash Bandicoot games were on there. You know, it's
Japan likes Crash, I
yeah,
guess.
I forget where I saw these numbers. And Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is huge in Japan. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's the JRPG for Square over there.
Yeah, that's fucking
I
insane.
think Final Fantasy is more popular in the West, like Europe and
Oh,
in America.
definitely. Yeah. I forget where it might have been Matt Piscatella that posted it. Someone posted top 100 selling video games in Japan of all time, and it was just Dragon Quest, Dragon Quest, Dragon Quest. I'm like, oh my god. There were some Final Fantasy in there, and then of course like Mario and Zelda and stuff. But yeah, and then Crash surprised me as well. So yeah, Crash 5. Here we are. There was a version out there that is now canceled, unfortunately. What do we think they're doing here? Do we think they're
Great
rebooting that
question.
project in some way?
Yeah, I wonder if that means that like Crash 5 can't ever happen.
Yeah.
Like, that can't be. That
No.
can't be the case.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. I
Like
think
that just
I think Microsoft would look at that and like, oh, it sold
yeah.
5 million copies. Imagine we had that on Game Pass, you know?
Yeah, or even yeah, just selling too. Like if they do what their new like vision is, like yeah, you could put it on Game Pass as well, but like have it on PC and Xbox and Switch and PlayStation and like
Right.
yeah, like put that everywhere. Like why not? That's what they're already doing, or at least with some games. I don't see why Crash could just Crash would die.
Yeah, I could
But I
see a
think that's what
world
they're
where Activision Blizzard is like 5 million is not enough for us. We're just gonna make you guys Call of Duty support.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I can see that world, and that probably is what happened, right? But I
They did
think,
with Vicarious Visions too. I don't know
yeah,
what Spyro did as the reignited.
yeah. So we'll get to that. There was this Project Dragon that was being made by a third party developer, or like, whatever you want to call it. But we'll get to that in a second. And then, so yeah, with Crash 5, I could definitely see a world where they were like, you know what, this Crash 4 wasn't selling quite enough for us to continue this. We are Activision Blizzard. We need things that sell multi millions of copies and make us a shit ton of money instead of just 5 million. copies sold and however much money comes with that, right? So I could definitely see a world with that. But for Xbox, I do think it's entirely different, right? They need
They
content
want
to fill out
family
Game
friendly games
Pass.
too.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. It's just like they just need shit to fill out their portfolio, and
Yeah.
they definitely are missing out on the family friendly games right now, like you just
Yeah, I mean
said.
they have the most popular family friendly game, but they want more.
Right,
They own Minecraft.
right.
So like they have other than like Roblox, right? Like they have the most family friendly game. Um but of course like with Game Pass, they want like a steady flow of like maybe children able to use Game Pass for Minecraft or yeah, whatever, Crash or a new Banjo, something like that. So, what do I think that they're doing? That's a interesting question. Like they dip their toe in both Spyro and Crash, so I like they have a history with both of them. But I don't. Maybe they're just doing a new IP, and it is just being funded by Xbox and published by Xbox.
That'd be interesting. That'd be the most disappointing route, from my
Yeah,
perspective.
I would
Yeah,
want to. I like Spyro 1. Spyro 2 was good. It didn't fully click for me. I didn't play 3. I love the Crash games. I would want a Crash 5. That's what I want, especially after Crash 4. It was so good. Like I want Crash 5, but I'm not feeling a Crash, at least for their game now. Maybe their next game is a Crash. I'm just gonna guess a new IP though. I think Crash 5 is probably another. If this game is probably next year, maybe 2 years, maybe 2028. Crash 5, something like that. That's a long wait, but I think that might be their next game.
yeah, yeah. I'm not entirely sure now because if they jumped right into Crash 5, I would have assumed they would have jumped into Spyro after Crash 4. But
Mm.
I
You'd
would
think
have,
so.
yeah, I would assume, they did the Spyro Reignited trilogy. They gave Crash a proper sequel. Okay, let's get Spyro a proper sequel now. Proper Spyro 4, right? That's the route
Yeah.
I would have thought they went. But since they jumped right into a Crash 5, right? And then that ended up getting canned. I wonder if they just go right back to that, does the studio just want to make Crash games now?
That's a good point.
Yeah, is that where their heart is? Because it very well could be. And if that's the case, then fine, I'm cool with that. I think Spyro deserves a proper 4. I guess it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
from this team. So we can get into the Project Dragon thing too. That's obviously a Spyro reference, right? It must be.
Yeah.
And it was being made over at Phoenix Labs, who have made a couple other games, a couple other
Yeah, the name
smaller
sounds
games.
familiar.
Yeah, yeah. They just had a shit ton of layoffs. So sometime this year I noticed, and I forget what games they've developed exactly. So it seems like they were handling the Spyro thing, and it says it was going into early access in just weeks before it was canned. So I wonder if it was like another random multiplayer project type thing.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know why a single player Spyro game would
Kind
go
of
into
like
early
Crash
access,
Rumble.
right? Yeah, exactly. Like exactly along those lines. And like I wonder if they were just going that route. And if that was the case, yeah, probably a good idea. It got
Don't need
canceled.
it.
Yeah. But so yeah, I do really wonder what's going on with Spyro over there, if anything at all. And I would probably guess it is just Crash 5. I think they probably just picked up where they left off. This guy who tweeted out all this stuff no longer works there. So I guess he probably knows, but he might not know exactly what's going on over there right now currently. And I didn't see when he was laid off exactly or if he just left or whatever. So the timeline for this is a little wonky, but
Yeah.
yeah, if I had to guess, I think they're probably just rolling right into Crash 5. Pick up where they left
I hope
off with the
so.
canceled project.
I hope you're right, not me.
Yeah.
I'd rather Crash 5 than a new IP, but hey, whatever choice Rob makes, like
If
I'm
it's a
at
new
least
IP, I wouldn't see why the rush for Xbox and them to make a publishing deal then, right? Because it was right away after they
yeah.
disbanded from them. It's what was the big rush there then? Did they not want to shop around for other publishers and see if they wanted to publish this thing, see if they can get a better deal from someone else? I don't know. Uh, so I would guess it's one of the Xbox IPs. I mean, throw a fucking curveball here. It could be Banjo, right? Something
Mm,
like that.
yeah.
Any of the other 3D platformer, kid friendly IPs that Xbox has, right? They probably have a shit ton now that we're not even
It's
thinking of.
actually a cameo sequel.
Ooh, that'll work. That'll work.
Yeah. You remember that game?
No.
That launch game? 360 launch game?
Cameo. Which one was
You
that?
remember Cameo? It's the
No,
one where you
no.
like that girl and you like turn into the 3 different animals or whatever?
Oh,
One was like
what
a
the fuck?
Yeti, I forget what the other one was like a beast or
I
something,
remember
I don't remember.
Super Lucky Tail.
Yeah, no, this was like launch 360.
Launch
It was
360. No,
actually
don't
reviewed.
know
It was a
this.
very like it was a pretty well received game. It was in the 80s, I think,
Huh,
Metacritic. So like
okay.
it was a well received game, but yeah, I forget who made
What's
that.
that little cat? Blinks the cat. There you
Blanks,
go. Blinks the
dude,
cat
that's
game.
what it is. I haven't got Blanks the Cat game in forever.
Yeah, exactly. It was only.
Make one of those.
Was there two of those? They make
I
a
think
sequel
there's
to that?
two. Yeah,
There's two of those. Okay.
they're both
Give me
Xbox
that.
original Xbox games.
Give me that. I'll take it. Why not? So yeah, Toys for Bob. Very excited to see what they're doing next.
Yeah, whatever they make, I'm at least gonna be curious.
For sure. For sure. Glad they're just still alive. Still kicking.
All
Still
we can
out
hope
there.
for at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. It's like there's a very real world where they could have just got shut down and not
Yeah.
spun off from Microsoft. So just be happy about that, people. We'll get a Crash 5 someday. I'm not too worried about it. If they really wanted to tickle my fancy, you make a Crash Team Racing 2. That'd be the number one for me.
Yeah, it's a game I still needed to like dive
That's it,
into.
bro.
Yeah. We need more kart racers out there, not just like the Nickelodeon one or whatever that one's called. I mean, it's cool that like they keep making those games. It's like that's awesome. I want more kart racers out there, but it's like we could use more
Yeah,
higher
I
quality
don't
ones.
play enough of them, I guess, to
I know people like the
really
Sonic
justify
ones.
that. Yeah, people do like the Sonic ones. That
I've
recent
never played
Sonic one.
those.
Yeah, I think I own it.
Um, I own the 360 one, which I know is like the popular. Like that's like the one. It's like
Mm,
transformed or something. Um, like I want to check that out. Maybe I should download that and check that out.
yeah, that'd be cool. I played an indie one called Bears Can't Drift a little while back now.
Right?
Yeah, that was
Cool, man.
it was a decent game. Yeah, Bears Can't Drift. There's just a bunch of bears and kart racers. It was very Crash Team Racing inspired, so it kind
Okay.
of feels exactly like that. And
I played I played one on my Game Boy Advance back in the day. It was a Cartoon Network one
ooh,
where you like could like choose. I can't remember the name of it though. You'd like choose different parts of your car and like kind of made your own like thing. And it was basically like it was close to Mario Kart more than I think like Crash Team Racing
sure.
had a more similar I think maps layouts and stuff. But you get to play as different like Cartoon Network characters and stuff.
Mm.
Cool.
We could play Chocobo one, whatever it was
Oh, the
called.
Chocobo.
That one came out
Chocobo.
recently.
Yeah, what was the name of that
I
one?
can't even remember.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
And then they just put that game in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as well.
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah, the Chocobo
here's the whole thing.
racing.
All right, next up then. Nintendo has officially announced Emio. I'm gonna go with I don't know how to pronounce this.
Emio?
Emio? Okay, we'll go with Emio. Emio, the Smiling Man, Famicom Detective Club. This is the first new entry in the Famicom Detective Club series in about 35 years. Daniel, I think it was last week we didn't put it in the doc, but Nintendo released this
Yeah,
weird
they
teaser trailer for
called off me with the doc. I didn't know
some
what to make of it.
I didn't either. I was gonna put it in the doc, but I was like, I really don't know. I was like, I wanted to wait for this because I was just like, let's just wait for them to announce whatever
Yeah,
the
because
fuck
there were
this
rumors
actually
that like
is.
Blooper Team was making like it did a deal with Nintendo.
Yep.
There were rumors that it's like it was uh what's that other horror franchise? Um oh, it's blanking. It was like I saw rumors like maybe it was a Fatal Frame.
I could have
Um
seen that. Yeah.
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 I
Fatal
was
Frame.
hearing like a couple of different things and then like
Fatal Frame and oddly Nintendo tied franchises.
the weird thing that like threw me off with it like when it was just the teaser was like that it was a live action
Oh.
teaser.
Yeah.
And what
It was.
it
Yeah.
wasn't like it wasn't, stylized. If it was
Yeah.
stylized, I think people would like, "Oh, that seems more of a like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a detective, like a graphic novel or visual novel." I couldn't think of
Oh. Okay.
like if a different style would have been like, "Oh, that's more of a visual novel," like that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I was
I
even
was seeing rumors of the the guy, what's his name? The Resident Evil guy. He worked at Tango, or he made Tango, and then
Oh,
he
John
left.
Johannes?
No,
Oh, or
no, no,
no,
no,
you're
no,
talking about
no.
Shinji Mikami.
There you go, that guy. Yeah, I was seeing rumors like, oh, Nintendo hired him, and he's making a game for Nintendo
Ah.
now, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
But he,
Very,
like, started his own studio, didn't he?
yeah, yeah, something like that. So I don't know. Rumors were going all over the place with this game. So they came out the next week and confirmed what this was. It is a new Famicom game. The Smiling Man looks very creepy.
Yeah.
Daniel, how you feeling about this one?
I've not played the Famicom Detective stuff. Like,
I
it
don't even know
seems
where
like
you can now.
there's, like, a collection. I think
Is there?
maybe
There's a
they're only
Switch
on Switch.
collection. Yeah.
There's, like, 2 games, I think, that were on Switch or
Okay.
something. And I guess this is the next one, but, like, they're very well known, like, people who like those games really like them, and there's, like, some that I haven't played, like,
I guess I never
the
realized that one hasn't released in the last 35 years of these. Like this is it's a name I know, Like I've heard that
yeah,
name
I think it was
before.
because they re-released the other 2 in
Yeah, that's
recent
probably it.
memory.
Yeah.
But, like, I haven't really played the Ace Attorney games, or the, Phoenix Wright games or
Yeah.
the Professor Layton games. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't played, but I have played, Spike Chunsoft doing the Danganronpa stuff. Like,
Mm.
that's kinda where that's my niche. I like Danganronpa a lot. So, this type of game, like, suits me. I just haven't really dipped my toe into it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting to see it come back after 35 years. I don't know exactly what type of game it even is exactly. I guess it's adventure, point click type of
Yeah,
thing.
visual novel.
Visual novel, adventure type of thing. Okay. So yeah, I'm somewhat into those. I don't necessarily know if I'd be into this, but sounds interesting. I like Nintendo getting into horror a little bit, right? Like this is an in-house Nintendo game. I don't know which team exactly is making them, but this is an in-house Nintendo game making a rated M horror game. Like just
But it
from,
seemed like the original writer has something to do with it, right?
I think he's the executive producer now, something
Okay.
like that. I was reading in the article. So yeah, he's involved in some way, which is cool. And yeah,
This is M-rated? Is
it
that what
is
you were
M
saying?
rated. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's got to be with this. Someone's got to die with this. From the Smiling Man with a bag over his head, looks creepy as fuck. He's killing people. Yeah,
You
out
know what
there.
he reminds me of?
It's a
You remember that Spider-Man costume where he gets taken in by the Fantastic Four and he's like wearing the Fantastic Four outfit with
yeah, 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 yeah. The little bag over
the
his head.
mask. He doesn't have a mask, so he puts a paper bag over his
Yeah,
head.
yeah, yeah. Does look like that.
Maybe
Reminded
it's
me
actually
of
just Peter Parker.
Smile, the fucking recent horror movie.
That was an interesting horror. It wasn't like it was okay. It was good.
I liked it. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
down for it. There's a 2 coming out pretty soon.
Oh,
Looks,
interesting. I check that
looks
out.
okay. Looks okay. But yeah,
I want to see that Long Legs movie.
I do too. I do too. Yeah,
I'm hearing like it's got like Alan Wake 2 vibes, like Pacific
Ooh,
or Twin Peak vibes, like very like the Pacific Northwest, kind of like True Detective season 1, that kind of vibe of like the boonies, like I'm all about that.
I just want to see Nick
Culty.
Cage.
I have seen like clips, like little like bits of that movie, and I don't think I've seen him once in any of those.
Yeah, I think they're not showing him for some
Okay,
particular
is that they're
reason.
trying to
Yeah,
hide like what he
he has
even looks
really
like?
long legs. I guess I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's called long legs. So I'm
He's the
assuming
one
he
with
has
the long
long legs.
legs.
Someone's got to have long legs in the movie, right? It's just false
Yeah, why would
marketing.
it be called that?
It's
I want my
just,
money back.
someone's
There
got.
were no
There were
long
zero
legs.
long legs. You go to the fucking the cashier lady at the movie, like,
Stop the movie.
ma'am,
Stop
ma'am.
the movie.
All
There
I
is
saw in
no.
there were average sized legs. Okay. I was told there'd be long legs.
Where's your?
Zero
Okay,
long legs.
go get your manager, please. I'm done
Go
talking to
get
you.
him. Call the execs up. Want my fucking $20 back.
It's movies are expensive.
They are, man. You go to the movies, it's like taking a fucking family vacation nowadays.
Crazy.
All right, so Famicom. It's got a release date, August 29th. So it's coming out very
Hmm.
soon. Very soon. I wonder why they didn't put this at the direct or anything. Just kind of randomly dropped.
I wasn't ready. I would assume we weren't ready for like the reveal.
That's odd when the game comes out in 2 months, or like a
Yeah,
month.
I don't know. Maybe Nintendo just didn't want to put it there.
They didn't want to
Maybe
put
it's
a
the
rated
M
M
rating.
game there. Yeah, they were like, yeah, not doing that.
Yeah, maybe it's that M rating. That could be a big deal to Nintendo.
Yeah. Next up, then, RGG Studios will be revealing the next game in the Like a Dragon series at this year's Tokyo Game Show. This takes place in late September. Yakuza slash. Oh, that's part of the article. So yeah, there you go. RGG Studio said they're gonna reveal the next Like a Dragon game, or whatever the next game is in that series at Tokyo Game Show. Daniel, you both just played Yakuza 8 or Like a Dragon 8, whatever the fuck we're calling it now.
Infinite Wealth. I mean,
Infinite
you can call it
Wealth.
like a Dragon Age. I mean,
Yeah.
that's fun. That's
And
what I've been calling it.
the TV series comes out in October this year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
So the shit's gone all over the place. How you feeling? Next one's getting
Oh
revealed
my
here.
god.
What do you think this is? Do you think it's a proper 9 now, or do you think it's one of the spin-offs?
Well, I told you my hope for the future. Um, without being like too spoilery. Um, I think there's only four things it could be. And I'll just break it
A lot of
down
things.
as quick as possible. It is, but I think that's it. The only thing is it could be. I'll do the easy one. It's just something brand new. I doubt that's what it is, but
Mm.
it's just something brand new.
Like a new IP from? Well, it
Like a
can't be
new
a new IP if it's in the series, but you just mean like a new spin-off
yes,
thing. Yeah. Okay.
yes. Um, and like tied to that being a new thing, like I think it could be that game that we were like hypothesizing back when we were playing Infinite Wealth, the game with like Majima, Daigao, and Saijima,
Sure.
like them three having their own new spin-off, like that being like bring maybe have that be like the beat 'em up stuff, have it be them three. Um, so that's like one option there, or two if you want to break those up. The other one is a new Judgment game. I know that there was stuff. It's been 2 years since Lost Judgment, or 3 years since Lost Judgment. Forget when Lost Judgment was. That was 2021. So it's been 3 years since Lost Judgment. Um, and I don't know if they'll go back because of all that weird
Yeah,
stuff
what
with
was that with the actor, right?
it was his
Something like
talent
that?
agency.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like them trying to put it on PC or something.
Uh,
And his like likeness, they were very weird about that. So maybe we won't get a new Judgment game, but that is an option. And then the that big obvious one, it's like a Dragon 9.
mhm.
Um, I don't think they would do another spin-off like like a Dragon Gaiden that they did last
Oh,
year.
yeah.
I don't think they'll do that again
Well, that was a
because
remake, right, of the
no,
Gaiden, was it the samurai one?
no, you're thinking of no, that's Ishin.
Oh, yeah, 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 I'm thinking of
Yeah.
the man who erased his name, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. That I don't think they'll do that again.
That was kinda
Um,
like a in-between story though, right?
it was.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I th- I I think they'll just go straight to 9. Um, but you just actually put something else in my head that there's a possibility that it could be. This really isn't, but from what they're saying, I don't think so, this is true. But it could be they'll if they want to get everything into the West now, is the last game that is not here is get
Mm,
a remake or updated version of is it Like a Dragon Dead? What's the name?
I don't know, yeah, the
Something
zombie one.
Souls?
The
It's like
zombie
Dead
one.
Souls or something
Dead
like that.
Souls. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah,
Let's go with that. It's a Souls game, wow.
yeah, it's a Souls game. That's the only one that's not over here, so it could be a remake of that. You said something about remake. I was like, oh wait, I forgot that there was that zombie
Mm,
one.
yeah.
But that's not like in the. I guess it's in the universe, but it's not. It's like a. It's like
Is it
Ishin.
not just the same vein of yeah, I was gonna say, it's not the same vein of Ishin, right?
No, because it does like you playing as Majima,
Sure.
and I maybe
It's
you
like an
play as
alternate
Kiryu.
universe
Yeah,
type thing, right? Yeah.
yeah. Or I think it's supposed to be like a nightmare or
And,
something.
and what? Oh, that's supposed to be a nightmare. Wasn't Ishin supposed to be a dream though?
They allude to it
Allude to
being
that, yeah.
Kiryu's dream. Yeah.
I kind of like that idea
I
of
think
like
they allude to
here's a
that in
dream, here's a nightmare, you know?
yeah, they allude to that in Infinite Wealth.
Okay.
Doing the Kiryu's memories
Oh, so they did the same thing with that with the zombie
with the
one then
zombie thing
too.
too.
Yeah, yeah,
Both
yeah,
of
yeah.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
Are like dreams or nightmares or whatever it is. So but I am so excited. I'm so ready. This is how they did um Infinite Wealth. They did it at Tokyo Game Show as well. If you remember, they had their own like showcase thing
Yeah.
and all that. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, very interesting. I think the four you laid out are probably the only possibilities, right? Unless it is, Well, I mean, I guess you laid out a new spinoff too, right? So yeah, I agree with you. I don't really have too much to add on any of that. If I had to guess what it is, I don't think it's 9. I don't think we'd be ready for that yet, considering 8 just came out this
And
year.
they were putting out a game every year for a while there.
Yeah, I know, but it's still like there's still a big gap or a decent sized gap at least between mainline entries, right? It's like when was
7
7?
was
7 was like
2020.
2020, and then we didn't get the
And in
next one till
2022, there was
2024.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I know they like their yearly releases with these. If I had to guess, I'm gonna say Judgment 3. That would be my guess. Granted, you
You
bring
think
up a
so?
great point with all the weird stuff going on with that actor and stuff, but I think there's ways around that. You could just get a new actor if anything, right?
Ooh, I don't know. He's not the main character. I don't know. That's
Sure,
weird.
but like, couldn't you just model the face to look exactly the same? No,
They
you
don't
can't do
do
that.
that. They don't
Hmm.
do that in these games.
Okay, maybe not that then. I'm gonna assume it's either the zombie thing or Judgment 3. That would probably be
The
my
zombie thing
guess.
would be pretty cool
Yeah, the
because then
zombie
it's
thing would
like,
be cool. It is the last thing that needs to come over here too, right?
yeah.
So before the whole franchise is over here. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Get that out and you continue on with your yearly Yakuza releases, get the zombie game out, I don't know,
So then you
early
think,
next year or whatever.
yeah, I was gonna say, do you think like, yeah, that's like early next year? Then you think like 2026 would be 9? Is that what you're feeling?
I guess. I don't know. Unless they are doing a Judgment 3, right? If it's, I could see a world where it's next year's the zombie thing, the year after that is a Judgment 3, the year after that is a proper 9.
Mm. You think
Maybe.
they're taking? You think they're gonna take that long again?
I mean, that was the same gap they put with 7 and 8, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
What was the cadence like before that? Like when was 6?
Um, six. I think 5. This was like before I got into the series. I think 5 was like 2013 or 2012 or something. I think 0 was 2017.
Mm,
6 was 2018.
okay.
2019.
Then, yeah, maybe it is on the main line. I don't know.
They were doing Kiwami 1 and 2. They were remaking those somewhere in
I
there.
guess the thing that probably took a while with 8 was making Hawaii, right? Like they had to make a whole new
Yeah.
landscape.
Whole new
They
map.
couldn't just reuse the whole the Japan land, whatever it was called. So I guess if they're gonna do something like that again, it would take longer. Are we gonna go to another new location? In 9?
Aren't there, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't there's 4 maps in 8, right? Because you go
Yeah, you
to
can go to
Hawaii,
right.
you go to Kamurocho, which is the main Japanese one. Don't you go to Sotenbori as well, which is the other main Japanese one?
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
then you
you
go,
go to both the Japanese locations that you could go to in 7.
yes,
Yeah.
but isn't so but that okay, but that's Yokohama,
Okay.
which is in 7. That's the main one in 7.
Yeah.
Kamurocho is the main one in the most of the series. And Sotenbori is the other like main one in the old stuff.
Okay.
Don't you go to Sotenbori too?
I don't remember in particular, but maybe. I
So
remember
did
the
you,
2 main Japanese places that you go to.
yeah.
Yeah,
And 7
from 7
the
and then
original and then in
Hawaii.
7, yeah.
But yeah,
And then Hawaii.
I don't remember what we talking about with the fourth one.
Yeah. I can't remember if Sotenbori is in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
wonder
there's at
if
least
they would
3 maps.
reuse Hawaii. Like would we do Hawaii again, It's an interesting
Um,
thing. I like the idea of going to a different place every new mainline entry now.
the problem with that is that the series is so Japanese focused.
Mhm.
I would see maybe just do it take place somewhere else in Japan, but
I like the
um
idea of like somewhere else with a big Japanese culture again. Because Hawaii has a very big Japanese culture, right? It's like do that again, pick somewhere else in the world with that, and it's like, of course, you can go back to Japan as well too. Like you could do the same thing where you split it, but
yeah,
I don't know. I
that's
really
true.
like the idea of like I think I threw out like Brazil when we were really into it. Like that'd be really cool, something like that.
I
It's
think Hawaii is a cool location and that they only used it, if they're only going to use it the once, um that feels odd, right? Like
It does for this series in
um
particular. That feels very
yeah.
odd to only use that once. You're gonna create this big, beautiful Hawaii map and
But
only use it once, right?
yeah, I don't know. I think that's a tough question to answer. It's like,
Yeah,
is there really any reason to keep going? They can create reasons too,
sure.
but is there really a reason? They kind of wrapped up Hawaii.
There's always some fucking random. Oh, Cosmica's cousin lives in Hawaii now, and he's been kidnapped. All right.
Actually, yeah. But actually, Kasuga was dating the cousin,
Yeah.
so they could try again.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm sure they can come up with a reason. Regardless, I guess we'll find out at the end of September. I think it's like September 24th it starts Tokyo
It's
Game Show. So
20.
looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. I'm expecting a Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer there. So excited
Ooh,
for
is
this
there
year's Tokyo
rumors of
Game
that?
Show. No, but that's just where the last one was,
Hopes and
and
dreams.
so it's been like 2 years now. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna cross my fingers for that. I'll be up at 4 a.m. watching a fucking live presentation in Japanese and see Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. Love doing that. Next up then, Supermassive Games. Next game, the casting of Frank Stone, has a release date of September 3rd, 2024. This is the Dead by Daylight spinoff. The casting of Frank Stone. I forget
Yeah.
exactly what this was about, but
Yeah, I don't.
the
I
weird Dead by
plot
Daylight
was
things.
weird when it came to that trailer. I forget the last time we saw, but that was like a little bit more of like a plot heavy trailer that we saw of it. I don't remember where it was though. Maybe it was the Keeleys in the Summer Game Fest trailer. Uh, yeah, the game looks weird. I don't know what to make of it. The name is very odd. I feel like they should have had Dead by Daylight. I know under in like the imagery it says like a Dead by Daylight whatever, but I feel like Dead by Daylight should have been in the name. It should have been like Dead by Daylight.
The casting of Frank Stone.
Either that, even that's just a weird name too. Maybe just Dead by
Very
Daylight
long.
Frank Stone or something,
Yeah.
or like Stone or whatever. Come up with like that. I think that's just a better name. But then maybe people would expect it to be more Dead by Daylight. But it's like you're the
Sure.
one tying it into the universe, so you kind of blame yourself. You
Yeah,
know?
if you called it that, I definitely would be expecting the Stranger Things kids to hop in there at some point.
Yeah.
I swear to God, the last trailer we saw for this had like the lightning from Stranger Things. You know, like that red lightning in the clouds. I'm just saying, it's a possibility still that the
Demi Gorgon shows up,
yeah, that come Hopper's in there somewhere. Like, what are you doing here?
and then Amanda from Saw shows up with her stupid mask.
Oh, the pig mask? That'd be
Yeah.
fucking cool. That'd be cool. A little Chucky running around or some shit. I don't know what's in Dead by Daylight. But, yeah. So yeah, I know me and you are both a fan of Supermassive Games. I don't
Like
necessarily
Supermassive,
know
yeah.
if I'm gonna play this one. This one doesn't
If it
really
comes out,
seem to interest me that much, but I don't know. We'll see.
they haven't made a game in a little while now. If it comes out
Yeah,
and
we did
it's
get one
like,
last year, did we?
yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
get anything last year. I was
Okay.
expecting the sci-fi thing. Maybe that's next year. Um, yeah, like if it comes out and it's like, hey, this is in their same vein. Like it's not really that you don't need to worry about the universe of Dead by Daylight, but it's their normal like experience that you can get from a supermassive like narrative driven choice based game. Like sure, I might check it out if it's not that long. Because like that was probably my only complaint with or not my only, but one of my biggest complaints with the Quarry. As much as I like the Quarry, I think it was a little too long. I think they were trying to go for like a bigger game, like Until Dawn, and even Until Dawn's a little too long. And I love Until Dawn, so I think just make it a little shorter.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's who's the big name actress or actor in this one.
I
And
don't remember seeing one,
yeah, it
but
doesn't really look like the only listing on IMDb is Matt Murdock, who's a performer, and I guess he's just a voice actor of some sort.
yeah.
He was in
Well,
Hellblade 2. So,
okay.
there you go.
Well, yeah, the Quarry didn't really have a big name. It was what Justice Smith,
Brenda Song, sir.
Brenda Song, Ariel Winter, and
Those are big
Ray,
names. That's kind of what I'm
Raimi,
talking about. Yeah.
Ted Raimi.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't it
Oh no, I guess the biggest name. Then what's his name? The dude from oh boy, Scream guy. See the biggest guy
oh
there?
yeah,
David
yeah,
Arquette.
yeah. David
David
Arquette.
Arquette.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
probably the biggest name in that. And they had a few names. Like those are all pretty low tier. I don't
They
know.
are, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. They never get like fucking Leonardo DiCaprio or some shit, right?
Dude, did they
Even
get
at the time of Until Dawn, none of them were really big. Hayden Panettiere was big, don't
she
get me
was the
wrong.
biggest one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like
Rami Malek wasn't
Rami
huge
Malek
yet.
wasn't big yet. That didn't even
Yeah.
kick off. I think that was before. That might have been during like season 1 of Mr. Robot, so people were just getting to know him. And
I think the only thing I had seen him in was the Night at the Museum.
oh yeah, he was in that. He
He
was
was the
the
pharaoh
Egyptian
guy.
guy, right?
Yeah.
Good at that. Man, I
Yeah.
love Mr. Robot. If you people out there haven't seen
I've not
Mr.
seen it.
Robot, dude, Mr. Robot up there with my favorite shows for sure.
Yeah, it's like
an
short and
amazing
sweet
show.
too, right? There's only like a few seasons.
No, there's like 5. I mean, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
the short. I mean, it's like 10 episodes each season, so you can 50 episodes in all, right? It might be a little bit more than that because I think they stretched the last season out to 12. But man, that's a
Where's
damn
that
good show.
at?
That was on USA, which is a weird ass
Oh
channel,
my
and
god.
yeah, but I think you can watch it all. I don't know, on Prime now, maybe something
Prime
like
or something.
that.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah. I mean, you could definitely buy it off Prime. I don't know if it's just on there for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what USA is on there now. It might be under Paramount now.
They're getting some like USA stuff on Netflix, but I don't think Mr. Robot's on Netflix.
No, they should put that one on Netflix just to give it a boost. Man, that was a good show. But yeah, casting Frank Stone, September 3rd. Got a release date now. Coming out very soon. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll wait for reviews if it's like this is Supermassive's best game type of thing. Then I'm gonna be forced to check it out. But
Yeah.
other than that, I don't really know what you could. I'm not a Dead by Daylight person. I never really got into
It's a
that. I have
really
no
cool
attachment to
game.
that series.
I'm not playing it constantly, which
Yeah,
is what
it seems like a
frustrates.
cool game. I do like
Yeah.
those asymmetrical horror multiplayer
Yeah, and
games
it's the
too.
best
So it's
one.
like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, I probably should check that out at some point. But it's just, it's just one of those things where it's been so long that that game's out and so many updates, or
Yeah.
I feel so far behind. I don't even really want to download it. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
But yeah, Casting Frank Stone, September 3rd. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe, I don't know. Busy fall. If it came out right now, I'd definitely check it out. But
It's
it is not.
probably going to be a couple nighter, I would assume,
Yeah,
unless it's
no,
really
it'll be a
short.
very quick game. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out. Not entirely sure.
Now you got me
Uh,
thinking about stupid Mr. Robot. I think Joey Badass is in that show, is he not?
Joey Badass is in that show. So is it Yun Ma or is it Yun Ma? I've always been scared to
I don't
ask
know.
this question. She's a rapper. I'm pretty
I don't
sure.
know who that is.
Uh,
Who's
uh,
Joey Badass in it?
Joey Badass is his character is kind of secret. I don't want to spoil
Oh,
things.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But he is in it a fair amount actually. Joey Badass
Cool,
is in it more than you'd expect. And
cool.
yeah, I don't know. That guy really likes his rappers because there's a couple of them in that show just for no reason at all.
The creator,
Yeah,
yeah.
the creator. That guy recently released a movie on Netflix. That was okay. I forget the name now. But the guy playing Blade was in it. Forget his name now too.
Marshall Ali.
There you go. That guy. He was in it. It was okay. It was okay. Weird show. Guy has a very strange mind. Uh, Daniel, we can do a little review roundup for some of the games that were released
Yeah,
recently.
this week's a pretty decent drop, right?
Yeah, there's a lot coming out. A lot I want to check out actually. First game we can go over then. We were talking about this before the show. That Mitsu Kami Path of the Goddess game.
Yeah.
Currently sitting at an 80 over an Open Critic. Let's see here.
About what I was expecting.
IGN gave it an 8. PC Gamer gave it an 8. Hobby Consoles gave it an 88 out of 100. Guys are wild out here. Daniel, this game seems very interesting to me the more I'm hearing about it. I guess it's like
Yeah.
a tower defense thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of into that actually. And it's apparently only like 10 hours, so I gotta download it ready to go on my
Okay.
Xbox. I don't think it came out
Yeah, we
yet.
talked
But
with Chris about this game because he picked it up
was he
in the
interested in
Fantasy
this?
Critic,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I think he was like, "Yeah, maybe I'll check it out too" because of Game Pass. So, it being a nice, short, sweet experience seems cool. Like tower defense mixed with action,
Mhm.
like that seems like a fun.
I haven't
You know what
actually
that?
seen gameplay, or I probably have seen a trailer at some point, but like I've never actually. I don't know what it looks like in my mind, but I've
Yeah,
just been hearing people talk about it on podcasts. And I'm like, oh, this actually sounds somewhat interesting.
that reminds me of like saying it's action with tower defense reminds me of Orcs Must Die. Have you ever played any of those games?
No, I've heard of that, but yeah, I
It's
don't even know what
those
that
are
is really.
pretty just tower defense, so I wonder like how much this game's going to be like just tower defense. But
Yeah.
those games are like a third person shooter or like third person. I think there are some melee weapons, but it's like a third person tower defense. Uh, and you can like shoot weapons and it's active tower defense, not like sit back and just do things. But this one, yeah, I'm very interested. I want to know what you have to say when you play it, and then maybe I'll check it out. I'm not sure yet though.
Yeah, tower defense games can be very addicting. So if you guys can make something there and then have a really good action element into it, really good gameplay alongside that could be really fun to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
The
I'm
art
definitely
direction's
curious
awesome
to
for
check
this
that
game.
one out. Yeah, it does look cool.
It looks
Seeing
awesome.
screenshots and stuff. So very interesting. Horrible name, but Capcom
Awful
going
name.
Capcom.
But guess what? Most games have awful names. It's crazy.
How about this one? The Dungeons of Hinterberg. Sitting
It
at an
could be worse.
80 over at Open Critic. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's see here. IGN Italy gave it an 8. Games Radar gave it a 4.5 out of 5. PC Gamers N gave it a 9 out of 10. Shout out to PC
We're doing
Gamers
pretty well.
N.
Good. This
So
is
yeah,
the game that has that
doing
really
pretty
cool
well.
art style.
It does, yeah. Cell
Very cel
shaded, kind of
shaded.
very colorful.
Reminds me of Sable from a few
Got
years ago.
oh yeah, a little bit
If
like
you remember
that. Yeah,
Sable.
kind of got like a winter color palette type thing going on here. Very
Yeah,
purple, blue, white. Going on. Looks very
the
interesting.
the trailer had like a lot going on too. There was
Yeah,
like action, there were like puzzles, there were like you were like riding something, like there was like she went to like a town, like there was a
yeah. I
lot
guess
going
there's
on in the
elements of like a town simulator thing here, but you're also going
Oh,
in dungeons, and you have like some some sort of action combat going on, and puzzles and stuff like that. I don't know.
maybe it's more
Seems like
Zelda?
a bit of a hodgepodge of a lot of different genres going on in here.
Yeah, it reminds me of it sounds like a Zelda game.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like a town, you're doing stuff, maybe like talking to people, going doing temples or whatever they want to call it, dungeons,
Yeah.
and then you're doing puzzles and action. That
Back.
sounds
I
Zelda.
don't know if it's like a bring the resources back to the town then type thing, and then you build that up
Hmm.
from there or something like
Keep
that.
building it up.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure. But this is another Game Pass one. Game Pass on fire this week, actually.
They have like 4 big games, I think,
Yeah, yeah, they
this week
really
for
do. It's a
game.
very big week for Game Pass. So this is
Yeah,
definitely one I'm keeping an eye on as well. I also downloaded this one on my Xbox, so I'm just gonna check these out, see if I
sure.
get
Yeah,
into
let
any
me
of them.
know.
Yeah. So yeah, that one's sitting at an 80. What was the other Game Pass game? Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn.
Flintlock.
Currently sitting at a 70. This game is already out, or it came out today, July 18th. So while we're recording this, let's see here. PC Gamer gave it a 60 out of 100. GameRant gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Push Square gave it a 7 out of 10. Daniel Flintlock, I believe this is a Souls game, right? Sort
It's
of in
like
that vein.
it's got. I think it's more action of an action game, but it has like this is the team that did Ashen, if you remember that.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember Ashen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that was Ashen was pretty Souls like. So it's probably going to have a lot of Souls like elements mixed in with your action. So probably like some RPG elements to your action, all that kind of stuff. That's what I would guess. It's probably not pure Souls like.
Okay. Cool. You got a gun, so that's interesting for
Yeah,
Souls games.
it's got a cool vibe to like the world in a lot of those
Weird
trailers. But
little blue dog on this cover.
yeah,
The last game then we can go over. Where is it? Nintendo World Championship NES Edition.
oh
Currently sitting
yeah,
at a 72 over on OpenCritic. GameSpot give it a 7. IGN Italy give it an 8. God is a Geek give it a 9 out of 10. So they liked it.
I mean that's your favorite place to go, right?
God is a Geek. Yeah, fucking
Yeah,
love it. Yeah, that one's sitting at a 72. So there you go.
it's a little lower than I mean, I don't know really what I was expecting for that game, but like that's just a cool little game with like a collection of like little short um, snippets of NES games that you get to play.
All
Um,
I've seen on this game is Jeff Grubb complaining on Twitter that there's no leaderboards.
who
He's like really pissed off that there's no online leaderboards in the
cares?
game.
Who cares?
He just wants to compete with his friends and whatnot. So,
Well, be
yeah,
with your friends in person. That's what it's
it's
about
just
for that
whoa,
game, right?
whoa. In
Oh
person
yeah,
friends, who has
can't.
those?
True. That's the
Calm
most. That's
down
the
there,
truest thing
Daniel.
you've ever
Are
said.
they gonna bundle two friends with this game? So yeah, do you any interest in this one?
Ah, I might want to get it just to have it. You know,
Mm,
does that make
one
sense?
of those,
Like a
yeah,
game to own,
yeah,
but like I don't know how much I want to play it. But
yeah.
I love the
Not
idea
my
of this
cup of
game.
tea. Yeah, I've
If I
never
had a
really been
group,
much a speedrunner.
me neither.
Yeah,
This game I would play if I had more of like a group and we had like a constant game night or something.
sure.
And this could be like a couple weeks of a game night. You know,
Yeah, it could
I
be
would
fun for
definitely
that.
play it for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for the news of the week. We'll now move on to what we've been playing. Daniel, what have you been playing?
Just one game, and it's the same game I talked about last week. Dark Souls 3. Started Dark Souls 3, I think on Tuesday last week. Um, yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday. And I have completed the game, beat the game, and the DLCs, every boss.
Boy, been
Uh,
gaming.
been gaming. That's all I've been doing. Um, I beat it in like 5 days, I think. Oh boy, put a lot of time. Um, Yeah, it's a great game. I love this game a lot. I don't know if it quite hits like the intrigue and like the journey that you go through in Dark Souls 1. Like it plays better than Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 probably is jankier. It probably has more exploits and things like that. Um Dark Souls 3 plays real smooth. Um the bosses are fantastic. Visually it's incredible. I still like the journey that you go through in Dark Souls 3. It definitely completes the Dark Souls like story. I don't really see them making like another Dark Souls 4 or something. Um, that's kind of I think why they made Elden Ring and not call it Dark Souls 4. Um, but yeah, like I like it almost as much as Dark Souls 1. Like it's really really good. Um, the it kind of loses a little the interconnectivity that like Dark Souls 1 has because I forget what is it the Fire Link Shrine, I think, is the one in Dark Souls 1. I think the one in 3 is called the Fire Keep. The Fire Keep is pretty separate. Um, like in Dark Souls 1, if you've played Dark Souls 1, you keep coming back to the Fire Link Shrine. And it's like something that interconnects and you keep coming back here. Like, does that make sense? It kind of spider
Yeah.
webs out and then you keep coming back. The Fire Keep is like separate. So like anytime you're done with an area, you fast travel back, go to the fire keeper, and you level up. You know.
More like the Elden Ring area, whatever that was called, where you gotta kind of
Yes,
go into the
it's
map and load into
exactly.
that. Yeah.
It's the round table. It's
Yeah.
it's just like the round table where it's like it's separate. Um, but actually, that's funny you said like the round table. Um, it is kind of like the round table in where like there is like you could find the round table in the real world because the round table is like a dream or something, right?
Mm-mm.
Like, did you do that in the capital? Like, you found the round? Did you find the round table?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I must
Um,
have.
it's kind of flipped, I think, in Dark Souls 3. So, like, I think the Fire Keep just exists, but there is like a dream version of it
Okay.
somewhere that
Like people there, is it like similar to Elden Ring, where you can go around talk to NPCs and stuff like that?
there is like only one NPC there, but it's
Okay.
like there is nothing around you. You just kind of like you're going through. You're in like an underground area, and you just like travel. And then once you get to like the area where the keep goes, and there's some really hard enemies, and it's just blackness. So it's like you're who knows where you are. You know, you've
Mm,
actually fight the same boss from the tutorial. Like that. So how it works in Dark Souls 3, you fight this boss before you can even get to like the main hub. um, and it's the same thing in this. Like you run into the boss, and he's called the Champion Grundier. He looks the same, does very same moves. He's just harder. And then once you beat him, there's a bonfire there. And then you go, and it's the dark version of the Fire Keep. It's pretty cool. But not having the interconnectivity definitely feels a little off compared to Dark Souls 1. I loved how you just keep coming back to the Fire Link. It just makes the world feel real compared to just I'm bonfire traveling around. Like, I think Elden Ring even does a better job at like because it is more open world of like this place feels real.
mm,
Um, Dark Souls 3 is a little more segmented, I would say, but it has a lot of connectivity too. But that's probably my biggest complaint with it. Um, yeah, I feel like the game it just being faster than Dark Souls 1, like it means like you get hit real hard. I just felt like this game everything was just up higher, whether that was how much damage I did and how much damage the enemies did. I just feel
mm,
like everything was just higher. Like I felt like I was dealing a lot of damage to enemies, but then I feel like I was dying like no, just two hits or something.
mm,
So it felt a little imbalanced in that way. Like I think they could have dialed it back just a bit. Maybe have like the health down just a bit, and then like let's deal a little less damage or something. It's like I feel like you could just overpower yourself in this game and like one hit be almost two hitting bosses or something. It's like I wasn't really that high of a level. I think I beat the game at like 115, so level 115 or something like that. Um, and like I was hitting bosses pretty hard. Like I think you can go to like 200 something. I don't even know how hard you'd be hitting these bosses if you were double my level, you know?
fucking level 800 over here.
Yeah, yeah, like Elden Ring. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing.
Cool.
Yeah, beat every boss. A lot of bosses.
What do you plan on hopping into next?
Uh, I've been kind of debating that. Maybe Path of the Goddess might be something I check out. Maybe. I think the game that I'm looking at is actually sitting down and committing, which I should have done last year. Baldur's Gate 3.
Mm,
I played a little bit of it. I forget how much I played at the beginning of the year. I think it was.
yeah.
I think it was like right before. What was the game that I was playing? What came out? I guess it would have been right before Like a Dragon 8. I was like,
Okay.
I was playing and then it came out and I was like, all right, bye Baldur's Gate. Like I'm playing Like a Dragon. So um yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'll probably just restart a new character. I don't feel like jumping in trying to figure out what I was doing.
Yeah. I mean, how many hours were you in anyway?
Not more than like 10.
Okay. Yeah, you might as well with that type of game, anyways, right? You'll probably
Yeah.
end up seeing different stuff than you already did anyway,
Well, they've
right?
been doing a lot of updates.
Have they? Okay.
Just they've been constantly updating that game. So yeah, I might as well.
Yeah. Good plan. Good plan. That's a long one. That'll
Yeah, I'm not. I've been just in a weird way with games, So it's like I'm just kind of like even like a Dark Souls 3. It's like I'm playing something old. That game's 8 years old. Like I'm just not really. I don't know. There are some games, coming down the line that I kind of want to play that are this year, but like I've been just like I want to play something that I know I want to play, that I
mm,
know that's already good, and I'll just see. Like I got a lot downloaded.
cool. What have I been playing? I've been playing mostly Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. I am on like chapter 3-ish of this game now,
And
so
there's what 5 or 6 chapters
uh,
or something like
I'm gonna guess 7 because there's like seven
that. 7.
pieces you gotta collect of this thing.
Okay.
So unless they like combine to get cute with it or whatever, I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess there's 7 chapters, but I'm not
Okay.
entirely sure. I guess it hasn't even lined up with the amount I have because I only have 2 of the things you need, and I'm in chapter 3. But there was like an opening chapter type of thing, so
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this game is super cute, man. The writing has been catching me off guard. It is hilarious, actually. This
Yeah.
game is very funny in its sense of humor. It's just like got like a Cartoon Network sense of humor, I guess is what I
All right.
describe it
That's
as.
cool.
Like a little more adult than you'd think coming from Nintendo,
Cool.
but
I like that.
not like full on like
Yeah.
they're
Not
cursing
like
and
Cartoon
shit.
Network. Cartoon
Yeah.
Network can
It's
get
like
pretty crude.
SpongeBob, I guess, where like
All
SpongeBob
right.
has very relatable jokes for adults, but then kids will also find
Not
it
Ren and
funny as
Stimpy.
hell too. No, not that angle. Not I wouldn't go that far with it. Mario's not putting his nose where it's not supposed to be.
Oh no.
So yeah, that's been really cool. That's been very funny to see. Like there's this whole thing where you met up with Luigi and you were talking to him and Luigi was like telling a story of what he's been doing this whole time because he's not like with you. And he's just explaining, and then Mario and then whoever else is party just starts falling asleep while Luigi's talking. It's just this long
No one
thing
cares about you,
too.
Luigi.
Yeah, it's like no one cares, bud. Shut up. So that was very funny. And then yeah, I've been enjoying the combat quite a bit here. It's very interactive for a turn-based game. It is very like you're doing something different, some little cute thing for each of the attacks. Whether it be
Yeah.
simply just jumping on them, you tap A when you jump on them, and then you jump on the guy behind them or something like that. Or like Mario's hammer move is just kind of you hold back the left stick and then this kind of bar goes like back and forth and then you got to get it like right in the middle to get a perfect hit. Just shit
Okay.
like that. And then
Yeah.
you're obviously meeting different characters, different people coming in and out of your party, and then they have different move sets, different things they can even do in the open world. Like the main side character, she what was her name, like Goombrella, something like that. Uh she can tell you about all the different places that you're visiting and like in detail and like the history of that place. So you press
Yeah.
LR or whatever, and then that'll pop up with the text. And you meet this little turtle guy. He's got a cute little shell that you can like hit things with in the open world sections, or I guess they're not entirely open world, but in the sections, if you like see a chest or something like that, you can use him to hit different chests and stuff, and like things that are out of reach for Mario you can hit with him. And so yeah, each of the new characters has like a different cute little thing they can kind of do with that, not just in
It sounds
combat but
very Zelda-y,
in
except
the
for like
world
with
too.
Zelda, you get like a weapon or an
Yeah,
item, and
it's
then
got a bit of
yeah,
a Metroidvania element where like
yeah.
you're going back to these different areas and now you have different abilities with these different party members that you can now reach different places
You're like,
with
oh,
through
now
that.
I can go there because I got
Yeah,
this thing.
yeah. like eventually Mario gets a paper plane power where he can turn into like a paper plane on these different platforms, and that can help you reach different areas. Or he gets one where he figures out he can turn sideways and then fit through small cracks because he's just a piece of paper,
He just
right?
figures it out.
Yeah, so you just get a bunch of different little things to let you explore the areas and stuff like that with, and I think it's really cool from that perspective. Story's very interesting so far. It kind of seems like you're going to I won't like spoil what the main thing is, but you're going to a new area to collect these things, and each of the new area kind of has their own little sub story, right? Like the first
Mm.
area you go to, there's a dragon that's like tormenting the town, so you got to go fight the dragon, and of course the dragon has at his castle one of the pieces that you need. The next town is kind of like this whole like Bugs Life situation where these bugs are getting attacked. They all live in a tree, and it's like it really did remind me of Bugs Life a little bit. And so yeah, it's a very cute game so far. I'm definitely enjoying my time with it.
How long did you say you've been playing? Do you know? Do you know
Uh,
like
I don't know. In chapter 3, I'm gonna guess.
just a few hours?
I'm gonna say around 10ish. You know, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is
5
a
to
pretty
10
pretty
somewhere
meaty
in there.
game then.
Yeah, I think it's like 25 hours in all, right
Okay.
around there. So I don't know if that's like completionist route, but I saw 25 hours ish somewhere. So yeah, I
All
think
right.
it's like
So you're about
Sea
a
of
third of the
Stars
way.
length right around there. Yeah, about a
All right.
third of a way in. So if I'm assuming there are 7 chapters, so in chapter 3, I'm probably in the middle of it right now. So I might be inching towards halfway through here, but yeah, not entirely sure. But yeah, enjoying my time with it thus far. Definitely gonna play it through, see it through. And then yeah, I want to check out that Path of the Goddess game as well. Sounds very interesting to me. We were talking about that earlier. And we're kind of just waiting for fall to start.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I am. You know, once
Star Wars.
yeah, once Star Wars hits, really, it's just kind of I'll kind of just be playing whatever else comes out from there. You know, then you get into like Astrobot, Zelda, and stuff like that. So once Star Wars hits, my year will pretty much be set with all the. So I'm trying to get all the random
I
shit
mean,
I want
those
to
are
play
three
out of
you
the way
named.
now.
I think are the biggest three for me.
Yeah, yeah, Star Wars, Astrobot, Zelda. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the big three, and then I got like Avowed, Indiana Jones. That's kind of like the next tier there of like I want to play those. And there's a few other things, but that's kind of like I think the big ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the big question this fall will be if I play Metaphor on release, because that will take.
Yeah, that's a big one, and I just
Yeah.
that's gonna be
It
such a
depends
time.
what's coming out around that. Because if there's a shit ton of indies I want to play around there, you know, it's like because there's a lot of indies that are still supposed to drop this year, and if it's like right around that time is when they all decide to come out, I will probably put Metaphor on the back burner for a little
Yeah,
while. Maybe that'll be like a good January type of game or something like that, you know.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, cool. That'll do it for the Nerd Gods Podcast, episode 232. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us over at youtube.com/Nerdic Gods. You can also find us available on all audio platforms. Daniel, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, actually, I just got an email. Abandon's gonna be revealed at Tokyo Game Show.
Wow. He's fucking with you
Re-revealed.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's re-revealing it again. Yeah, Tokyo Game Show.
That'd be great. That'd be great. It's actually the prologue to the prologue is gonna drop that same day. Gonna be great. It's that guy's brother. Don't forget that. You
Oh.
know, it's that guy's brother. Very important details. All right, everybody. See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.